Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Off Air with
Gbemi
and Toolz.
You always say my name now.
Okay, let me do that again. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Off Air with Gbemi and Toolz. Hola!
What's up?
All right, so let's get into this, shall we? First of all, thank you so much again for all the love that you guys have been showing us. Thank you to all the people that have been taking pictures of our billboards. And just, you know, we heart you.
We love it. Shout out to our friends at Barnomatic for our refreshing cocktails. Mine is Cardi B's. What's yours?
Mine is called a bourbon blinker.
Mm-hmm.
Yum, yum.
Yes. You can check them out on Instagram at Barnomatic.
Yes. I'm tasting some cinnamon. I'm tasting some, like, you know, something sweet. Yummy.
Thank you. Also, our good friends at Eve After Dark sent us some food that we can share. Now, will we share?
Hold on.
See dodo.
Can you perceive?
Yam.
Can you perceive
see
the
that
aroma?
big turkey? We're not giving you guys.
Keep it.
Actually, only people. Have you guys subscribed? You haven't subscribed. No plantain for you.
Anyway.
No dodo for you.
Just make sure you remember that Eve After Dark delivers 24 hours in Lagos and also Abuja as well. And if you're on the mainland, you're not left out because they also deliver there. It starts from 1-5. So make sure you check them out, okay?
24 hours delivery.
They are on Instagram. They have a website, the Eve After Dark. But check them out on Instagram, Eve After Dark. And they have their menu there. And they have an extensive menu so you can pick whatever it is that you want. And don't worry, like I said, if you're on the mainland, you can still order. They deliver to you 24 hours a day. If you're in Lagos as well as Abuja. Thank you.
OffAir fam, we'd like to share with you, but you can watch me eat it though.
That sounded very sexual. Who said whoosh?
All right, let's get into it. So we have got some fan mail.
Let's start with that because
this one, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Read it.
All right, so it comes from Mandy. I'm not going to give her last. Well, she didn't give it to us. All right, so yes. You know, we're a fan of you too. Blah blah blah. She goes, Omo. This show is my stress reliever every week. Thank you so much. And she goes, I'm 23. My boyfriend just turned 28. He's a freelance videographer and a cinematographer. As some, what do you mean he's jobless? Only point videography and cinematography.
Go ahead.
And he does Uber driving on the side. He is always super nice to me. Wait, listen guys, listen boys. He's always super nice to me, very respectful and very loving. He doesn't have a lot because he doesn't get constant videography jobs, but he still gets now. But that doesn't mean he's jobless. But he tries to make me as comfortable as possible and also helps sort some of my needs out too. My point is the guy treats me well and is always very helpful, so he is a really good guy. But sometimes he just fucks up.
As they always do.
In ways that leave me honestly wondering. Recently, I was going through his gallery because I wanted to watch some snap videos I made on his phone. After watching my snaps, I deleted a few of them. Usually when I delete a video or picture, I like to clear it from the bin so it's not occupying space. I went to the trash on his phone and guess what I found? Guess what she found? Guess what she found? She found an 11-minute plus sex tape of us. Not of me, them. And she goes, from my outfit, it was a video made earlier that week. I was honestly hurt and confused. I showed it to him and demanded an explanation. He said that before I came round, he had set up his camera to see what doing a vlog in his room would look like.
Sure.
He said that he liked the angle and decided to keep the camera rolling when I came. He apologized and said he instantly regretted doing it after he transferred the file from his camera to his phone, and this is why he deleted it. I asked why he didn't delete it from his trash, and he said that he isn't very conversant with an Android as he uses an iPhone. So he didn't know it's still stored in his trash. Honestly, I don't know how to feel, especially since this isn't the first time something like this has happened. He tried to make a video on his phone one time in the past without my consent, and I told him I wasn't comfortable with it. I was very upset then. He apologized and promised it wouldn't happen again, but sis, it just did. But now it has happened, and my ass was recorded in 4K.
I like my sense of humor.
When I asked why he kept the camera rolling, he said he wanted to see what we look like having sex. He promised that he had deleted the clip on his camera memory card and doesn't have any clip of the video saved
It's
anywhere.
a lie.
Bullshit.
It's a lie.
He apologized severally, and I told him that I'd forgiven him, but when I think about it, I just get really scared. Like, why didn't he ask for my consent first? Why do me like that? And what else has he done that I'm not aware of? And also, what else will he do? Mind you, I've been dating this guy for a while. This year, September, will make it 3 years. Please kindly give your opinion on this issue. Do you think I'm stupid to forgive such an act just because he's nice to me, or am I honestly overthinking this? I honestly really like this guy, and other than some little disagreements, we are good mostly. All right, you start.
I don't think you're stupid for forgiving him. You can forgive him, but you can also dump his ass. Because I guarantee you, sis, that this guy has other tapes of you. Just because you caught him this time doesn't mean that he doesn't have other, on what's the word, on authorized.
She's caught him twice.
You know, he can go to jail for that, by the way. So I don't know, but me, I can't trust such a person. I'm sorry, but you can forgive him, but it doesn't mean that you should trust him. And yes, she has said the problem is that she's reluctant to leave him. Can you hear? She says he's a nice guy. He treats her well. They've been together for a while. Been together for 3 years.
That's cute.
Sis, that's great. But
That's nice.
somebody who is recording you like without your permission is very, very dangerous.
I will add to this. There's a good chance that your ass is on 4K on the internet already. There's a good chance.
Or in his friends' group chat or something.
Because that shit is weird. That stuff is actually really weird. How can somebody that you are in a relationship with be trying to film you on the sly? It's very, very weird. Like, it's something that if you guys are gonna do a tape, he should ask you. You're happy with it, fine. You guys agree to maybe delete it straight afterwards. But I don't know. That makes me very uncomfortable. And I think somebody like that, filming you when you're unawares. You probably didn't even do matching pant and bra that day, and then you ask.
Maybe you're not
do
even
you understand?
shaved.
Do you understand? Oh my gosh! So I think I don't know. It makes me very uncomfortable. It makes me very, very uncomfortable, and I would not. I think this guy might have a problem.
He does have a problem.
I think he might have a problem.
That's why he doesn't have any steady job in videography.
I see his job
sending the videos as a job. Yes.
Yeah.
It could also be a sis.
He could be doing
what
that.
What would you advise her to do?
I think this guy has a problem, and I think this is something that could definitely come back and be a bit of a nightmare for her in the future. I think break up with him.
Or collect your coins.
Yeah. No, do you know what? I think that these two times.
I said collect your coins.
These two times that she's caught him, I think that's not it.
Yes.
I think there's several. He's done this several times, and these were the times that he just got caught.
What do you think, Aziz?
I've never recorded so much.
No, what do you think? What would you advise her to do?
If this was,
I wouldn't say. She said she really likes him, right? So I wouldn't automatically say break up with him, but there's definitely a problem there.
He doesn't like her because he's recording her. He's recording her without her consent.
I don't think he would record someone you're planning to be with.
Let's just say, by the way, let's just know that some of the sex tapes that we've seen recently in the past few months were shown to us because the men were showing it to their friends.
And yeah, he's definitely shown that to his friends.
Oh yeah,
Of which,
definitely.
once again, you wouldn't show
Yeah.
that sex tape to someone you're trying to be with.
Exactly.
Honestly, if you're really thinking about it, just like Gbemi said, actually most sex tapes come from even Paris Hilton's, wasn't it? Because the guy did he show it to his friend or it was on his laptop or something?
I don't remember.
So it was just what do you think?
I don't think he likes her. And if he's been with you this long, it means you've been making great tapes. So you have a collection somewhere, sis. You have it. I don't think he likes
maybe
her.
he's only,
I think you look good in videos though.
You know what I thought? I just had a thought.
3 years.
I just had a thought. Maybe he's only a cinematographer with her footage.
You see?
And maybe he doesn't. Maybe you're right. Maybe he doesn't have work.
Maybe you are the work. You're the share.
And he's making
So
his
collect your
dollars,
coins.
Collect your coins.
Yeah. No, but that's not fair though.
You guys are not right.
That's actually not fair. No, because if you honestly, it's one thing if you guys agreed to do a sex tape and you've seen it and maybe it's on his computer, and even that one is a bit iffy. But it's one thing. That's one thing. But it's another thing if you didn't even know that he was filming. that actually is that's a violation.
That's the thing for me.
That is close to, you hear about these stories where people that have like Airbnbs, they put cameras in the bedrooms and everything.
Yes.
That for me is what it feels like, being filmed without your consent, without your knowledge. That's weird, and that's not something that that's basically not something that somebody that cares about you should be doing.
And I also think
So-
he's a bloody liar because he's a videographer and he's a
And
photographer.
he doesn't know how to use
and he doesn't know how to delete
Android.
stuff from
It's
Android.
embarrassing.
You should
Come
get
on
out.
now.
He
He's
should
a trash
Dayo,
get
shout
out.
out to y'all, man.
Why
It's
would
in your
why-
group chat.
What is this?
Do you know this guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Adam.
have you done this? Our videographer, have you done this before?
First of all, I have a name.
So Dayo, have you filled anyone? Have you made a sex tape?
No.
Have any of you guys
That's a
done that?
lie.
That's a lie.
I don't know. TK looks like he might have done this before. Have you
TK
filmed
has done
somebody?
And recorded sound.
You recorded sound.
No.
Are you telling us to break up with our boyfriend?
Yes.
This is, for me, this might seem like a small thing, but this guy's been doing this.
Yeah.
He's actually been doing this, and I think it is an indication of bigger problems.
Yeah.
I think he actually has like a sex problem. And I
But
think he's a
locate a
pervert.
lawyer just in case.
And I
What you need
think,
to wank.
and if she really does her research, she'll find out that he's probably done this with his previous partners as well. Yeah, he's probably got like a stash of sex tapes that he just watches and shares with his friends or some crap like that. Why do you guys do that?
Stop saying
Yeah.
you guys.
Why do you guys do
I
that?
don't even have a group chat. I'm not in any group chat.
Next topic is a very sad story about this young Nigerian American guy, Toby Obumselli, who was unfortunately killed by his girlfriend. She was an influencer. Oh, she is an influencer, and she's
TikTok
on TikTok, and then what else is it?
Staff of OF.
OnlyFans as well. So that the story broke and everybody's like, oh my gosh, what happened? Some people were quick to say it was self-defense. Now, the story took a bit of a turn because nowadays most people are on social media, either on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, and people were going through his timeline on Twitter, and he said some very, very bad things about black women. And obviously doesn't respect black women, and
Doesn't like black women,
Yes,
doesn't respect. So
yes.
his spec is basically white women.
so people are saying he got killed by a spec.
Yeah, and some people were basically rejoicing, saying, well, he didn't like black women, so well, now he's gotten killed by a white girl, so she deserves whatever. And I was like,
No,
you know what, people are allowed to like what they like, even if sometimes it can be problematic, but to wish death on someone, I think is just equally evil. Like, please, no. Someone died at the end of the day. And apparently this person, the alleged murderer, was found at a bar in Miami just a few days ago having a drink. I mean, you have to let your hair down after killing someone, right?
Yes, takes a lot of effort.
I mean, and then I don't know what, but we all know, again, this is white privilege at work. Because if this were a black person, black man, for example, you are suspected of maybe killing a white woman, you will not be found at a bar having a drink in public.
Be having that drink in jail.
Most likely. You'll be held somewhere or be under heavy police, supervision or something, until there's some sort of arrest or trial made or whatever it is. The whole thing is just a bit sick.
So the story was that she was sectioned, as in she was put in a hospital because she was threatening to kill herself. And then we don't know what happened. We don't know when she got released. But right now, as of the time that we're filming this, there have been no charges against her. So I'm not rejoicing. I mean, some of the things that he wrote were completely out of order, were completely disrespectful. I didn't like that, but at the same time, I cannot rejoice because a family is grieving. A family is grieving. He's got, parents, he's got siblings, and he was. I'm not going to say he's because of his age. There's some people like that. There's some people that maybe they went through something when they were younger and they have this self-hatred that comes out in a certain way. I feel that a lot of black guys I know that are kind of funny about, dating black women. Something, kind of happened, and that basically caused them to have like this warped opinion. So maybe that's what it is. But
also, I mean, the date of those tweets also it was 10 years ago, 2012. So I don't know, maybe his preference remained, but his views might have changed. I don't know. What about to basically be happy because this man has been killed by a white woman? It's just.
I didn't like. I saw a few tweets where some people were like, "Black women, this isn't your fight. This is none of your business," because he said this. And I'm like, no, he probably has a sister that's a black woman. He's got a mom that's a black woman. So I think somebody lost their life. That shouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
That should not have happened. And I think the most important thing right now is just to make sure that this person, we find out exactly what happened, and that this person, faces consequences. That's it.
So, over the past couple of days, there's been these annoying posts about this person called Nkechi Blessing. I had never heard of her before. In fact, I thought she was the same person as Blessing CEO. And then they...
You don't know Nkechi Blessing?
No.
That film... I'm just joking.
Did you know her?
I'm just joking. I don't really...
Anyway, apparently she decided to... The story I've heard is that she's very popular. She's in the Yoruba movie circles. That's why I don't know her, because I don't watch a lot of... Anyway. What I'm saying, she came out to drag her now ex-husband, basically saying all sorts of things about him. He also was making his videos. The annoying thing again is that every time I would see their faces, I would just scroll past, because I was just like, who are these people? Like, what is this? So basically they were dragging each other back and forth, and then the story now is that she came out to say, oh, they were not married, but she used to claim this person very loudly as her husband. Was she the one who was also saying yes, that she used to sleep with girls? Was that her?
Yes, the husband accused her of being a lesbian or something. And she was
see.
So what's
And then-
for me? I'm a lesbian.
And then she too in turn accused him
Not
of
saying
being
he's a gay.
So she also accused him of being a 2-minute man, and
See, I'm
said
scratching, like my whole body's just scratching me. Like,
that he's broke and everything. I'm like, but 2 minutes was good for you for like how long they were together, So I don't know. I mean, I don't really know much about them, but it's just been it's been assaulting my eyes.
I just really feel like I have secondhand embarrassment when a couple or a former couple is dragging themselves back and forth on social media. At the end of the day, both of you look really bad. Nobody is coming out looking like they've won. Both of you just look really bad. I don't want to know who was right or who was wrong or whatever it is, but really, this is unnecessary, honestly. Do you have anything else to say about this?
I will say this because because a lot of people, I think the last like sort of few months we've seen like a lot of relationships be, like the fights become very, very public things. One thing I have learned is no one is really on your side. It's just entertainment.
Thank you.
It's entertainment.
The so-called online in-laws don't care.
They don't give a damn. They do not give a damn. So just bear that in mind. And I think that's something that a lot of people in what?
They call themselves online
in-laws. Yeah. No, a lot of people in the public eye, you kind of feel, and very important as well, you don't owe anyone anything. If you want to post you guys looking cute together, fine. Just because you do that doesn't mean you need to like let people know when you're fighting. Oh my gosh, we're fighting today, so I just wanted to let you guys know, because so that's bullcrap. But bottom line, remember that nobody really cares. You're just entertainment. You're just that 2:00 post on Insta blog. At 3:00 something else has landed. So there you go.
So really sad news reaching us was that there's this gospel artist, Osinachi in Nwachukwu. She passed on. I saw the posts and I was like, oh no. But I didn't know who she was. But I was like, oh, may her soul rest in peace. And then, people from the gospel community started to talk, and they started to point fingers at her husband, alleging that he used to beat her all the time. And this time, he was the one who beat her up so much that she allegedly passed on. And, I was like, oh man. And then there was this whole conversation on social media about, women, basically people in what they call it now, abusive relationships, why don't they leave, this and that. And I was just like, very, very funny. I'm irritated at the full outrage at people saying, how could she be with an abuser? She should have left. You should know. I'm sorry that church people are going to be annoyed that I say this, but a lot of times religion enables abusers.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when, let's say, this person, most likely a woman, is in this physically abusive relationship, and then she goes to the church community to say this person is abusing me, beating me, they tell her to pray about it, fast about it while she's getting clocked in the eye every night. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, So while people are still dealing with that situation, there's another gospel artist, Frank Edwards, who came out to say, you know what, that he's really going to make sure that her husband is pays for this, because he was very aware that he allegedly used to beat her up and everything. Then, you know that veteran journalist, investigative journalist, yeah, that one. She came out.
It's Lagos. It's 2024.
Yes, 224. And then she'll now say she'll now do this spiel before she goes. She comes out to accuse this gospel artist of being the lover of this Osinachi lady.
Even do.
And and now everything is just so messy. Like, I just really feel, was that information necessary? Even if it was true.
Even if that's what I'm saying, it wasn't
absolutely
it didn't
necessary.
It didn't.
That does it now. It now takes away the attention from the fact or the allegations that this woman was being battered day in day. We heard all sorts of things. Apparently,
He was taking her money.
Yeah, that she would get booked and he would take all the money and give her just a little bit and stuff like that. He used to beat her constantly.
And she,
I just
and
want
she was
to
also
say,
worried about what will people say.
Yeah, I just wanted, and you know, people would have talked about her because they would have said, "Oh, you're ministering to people. Meanwhile, you're leaving your marriage." I just really feel that
she might have still been alive.
People in the religious communities, whatever communities they are in, if you know that somebody is being battered and you still tell the person to have faith and continue to pray and fast, I feel that, you know what, I feel that the same thing happened to you. I pray it happens to you and your children, because that's just, you know, you can't be telling somebody who is getting their ass beat every night to go and pray and fast and recite Psalm 91. Are you mad?
Do you know what? I don't even think it's just a religious thing. I think there's so many women in this country that have experienced some kind of violence, and maybe they went to their pastor, maybe they even went to their parents, and they're like, oh, sometimes like, oh, but what did you do? Or just, you know, just pray about it, it will get better. Oh, this and this and this and this. That is the wrongest advice to give. I was gonna add, as somebody that I have not experienced domestic violence, but one of my really, really good friends, she did. And you might say, but why didn't she leave? And one thing I realized from going through a particular incident with her is actually it's not that easy. Quite often, when they start relationships with these people, it's not violent from the get-go. It's a certain type of abuse starts. So sometimes you might the person will kind of start portraying certain like possessive behavior, and then what they also do is they try and take you away from your friends and family. And that is actually what happened with my friend. He was kind of doing this whole, no, all you need is me, and you know, and then I just noticed that for like a good few months I just didn't see her. But they were always together, and there was one night that things got really, really bad. I don't know if I've probably told this story before. I don't know if I've said it on this show. Basically, we'd gone out. I said to her, I haven't seen you in a while. You know, you're one of my good friends. I haven't seen you in a while. Blah blah. So she's like, okay, fine, let's go out. This is, you know, before I moved back to Nigeria. So she kind of said, okay, fine. And she said, oh, my boyfriend's going to come pick me at 10. In my mind, I'm thinking, why is he giving you a curfew? You're an adult. So I'm just like, whatever. So we're there catching up, drinking, dancing, having fun and everything. And she had like a big bag. I had a small bag. So she gave me her phone to hold. So we're there dancing. And then at the end of the night, okay, 10 o'clock he came. And I'm just like, no, we're still going to have fun. So eventually, you know, she left. And took the night bus home. So I was on the bus on the way home, and it was around 12. And she called me. So he actually calls... he called me from, they called me from his phone, and she's talking to me, and she's like, oh, her phone and everything. And I was just like, oh yeah, I've got your phone. I'm like, man. And she lived in West, I lived in North London, so it was kind of a little bit far, right? And I was like, just come and get it tomorrow. And then I hear this guy on the phone cussing her out, calling her a fucking bitch, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, and she was quiet. And I'm just like, I was enraged. And I was just like, say something. And she was quiet. So I was just like, you know what? I don't want to talk to you. I do not want to talk to you while this guy is insulting you, you know, and everything. So I just said, you know what, come and get your phone tomorrow. Left it that. So I got home. I was pissed off when I got home. Like, I can't believe this guy was there just disrespecting my friend. So I got home maybe around like maybe 1ish or whatever. Less than an hour later, I get a call from a number, and I pick up, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's me. I'm like, what happened? She goes, I'm in hospital. Oh, and so they'd argued, and this guy in the middle of the night in like freaking South London somewhere, they got into a fight. So she just had enough. So she tried to get out of the car, and got out of the car, and then he came, and she's you know, quite slim and everything, you know, not very, you know, whatever. He came, got out of the car, slammed her across the car, and he knocked her out. He knocked her out, and he left her on the floor at like almost 2:00 in the morning. So anything could have happened. Thankfully, somebody saw her, called the police and everything. And when I went to see her, she's like mixed. When I went to see her, like blood, like, you know, when blood was coming out of her nose, this eye was like black and purple and everything. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So after that, she stayed in my house while she was recuperating, because her parents knew that the relationship was a bit volatile. So she didn't want to go home with like a black eye and everything. So she stayed at mine for a few days. I was like, we need to call the police, everything. Anyways, this happened. I was furious. I was upset. I was worried about her safety. She went back to him. She went back to him. So I think basically what I'm trying to say is, it is not that straightforward. So people are like, why did she leave? Why did she leave? It's this abuse. It's a process.
It builds.
If you started dating somebody and they hit you on the second date, you'd be like, peace out, crazy ass fool, and that's it. But there's a pattern. So she was like, oh my gosh, this guy loves me so much. And he started doing some weird things. So basically, like, for example, like London now, if you're in West London and North London, even though it doesn't seem far, it's actually quite far. Like if you're, you know, so she lived in West London. He lived in South, which is another journey. He would leave his house in South London, go and pick her up and take her to work. He would come. That's like what accent guy explained to us. That's like from Ikeja,
South London to West London.
Yeah, it's
that's
like
already an hour.
That's like he would leave his house,
Already
pick her up,
easily.
and take her to. And she worked in like, is it, you know, Central London or whatever. So he was every day driving.
Was monitoring her
at least 2 hours.
Monitoring her.
2 hours, and that's because, and she was thinking, oh, he's so sweet, but it was because he didn't want her to. It's a control thing. So there's certain patterns that start, then it becomes violent. So I think with this, and this is you know, in a different country, or that is a bit more, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Structured.
Sympathetic to women like this. In this country where, why did you leave? You know you're not supposed to leave. That's your husband, whatever. And on top of that, she's also a gospel artist, and you know they're supposed to paint this perfect picture. We're gonna talk about that one day, because you know that shit ain't perfect. So I feel that a lot of people saying that she should have left. You need to really understand. And I think there was one report that I read, and for a lot of women that are victims of domestic abuse, it takes them about 6 or 7 times before they actually leave.
And even before they leave, sometimes it has to do with money. See, when you are living in a country like this where society is pretty much, you know, against you as a woman, I feel like a lot of times there's so many things that are not in the favor of women. You leave your home, people start looking at you like you're a failure, and whether or not the guy was beating you, they can say, oh, because your mouth was sharp. Your religion is also not helping matters at all. They're telling you to pray and fast while you're getting decked left, right, and center. Your parents, if you don't come from a supportive background where they are willing to, you know, shelter you, take you back, protect you, fight for you. Remember that lady, the wife of that banker, who went back several times to her parents' house, and they kept taking her back to the husband's house until he stabbed her 21 times.
And he then went to say that she did it herself.
Who stabs themselves 21 times, bro? Anyway, so I mean, society. So if you don't have also the means, money is also another thing.
Yep.
So if, for example, the woman is not earning that much and the children are in, let's say, a good private school, and she's worried that if she should leave, they will go from this level A private school to, you know, level D or E or F public school. You know, many women are trapped because they're thinking of so many things: money, shame, all of that. And I feel like we need to start helping and start paying more attention. When a woman cries out and says she is being, or a person, not even just women, a person cries out and says that they are being physically assaulted in their union or their marriage or their relationship, don't try and force them back. Don't try and counsel them. You can't counsel somebody that just likes to, you know, beat people up. I mean, I'm just saying. By now, you would have seen at least the first episode of The Real Housewives of Lagos.
Yes.
It premiered on Friday.
So let me gas myself up a bit, and you would have heard a very, very sexy voice on the intro. It's me. Continue.
Are you sure? Okay, so like I was saying, I'm sure those of you who saw it there's so many people saying so many different things on social media, and then I hosted the Twitter space talking about episode 1, people's first reaction.
Can we reenact something? I'm sure you know how to do this.
What?
Yes, Chioma is my very good friend.
Well, yes, Laura has been a good hair customer for about 5-6 years.
I don't know why she didn't want to tell people that I'm a friend. We've been friends for years. Yes.
I don't even want to say what comes to mind, but yeah, that was Laura, Nkechi, and Chioma good hair. Are you gonna be back friending though? If the girl said we're friends, she said we're not friends. Do you believe they were friends?
According to one party, no.
I don't know. Even in general,
is it Chioma she bought the hair that she won her anniversary from?
I don't know. Anyway, shade. Anyway, so during the Twitter space,
shade.
Lots of people were coming for Laura, saying that she was being a hater, she was bringing negative energy. Honestly, because she was the only person who was. She said, "Oh, they were all being fake." She was rolling her eyes. She was like, "Oh, I don't want to be here." Wanting.
What did
She was
think?
like, I don't know, but her energy was just off. I don't know what it was. And she was like, I don't know why they're all being so nice to Chioma. For what?
You have to be a wife to be on the Real Housewives.
No, you don't have to be a wife. No, you don't. But yeah, so all of that,
Why
Sha.
is it called the Real Housewives?
Look, it started out that way, okay? It started out that way, and then but they found more interesting women who had never been married, or some who were divorced, or some who were in entanglements, and so yeah.
It's so cute how you just seem quite perplexed by this. But
But it's a real housewife.
This is Real Housewives.
It doesn't
It's
have
a wife at least.
A real.
Look,
someone as this is dissing people.
I'm not dissing. I'm just saying.
Anyway.
On the way there.
Yeah, so there's an intending wife. There's this one now. There's 3 wives, right?
who's a wife? Tiana is a wife. Laura is a wife.
Tiana.
Miriam is a wife.
3 wives.
Mhm.
1 billionaire ex-wife.
Billionaire.
Very
No,
important.
she said billionaire.
Billionaire.
Billionaire. Every 5 minutes, billionaire. By the way, apparently I heard that she said, okay, because I was talking about what she wore to in one scene. They showed all the housewives together for the first time. It was Tiana's.
Miriam wasn't there.
It was okay. Well, except Miriam. Tiana's baby was doing like a launch or something for her hair thing and clothing line, and so they all came except Miriam. Miriam is a dark-skinned one, and then we see Caroline and she's getting dressed, and she's in this lime green tight dress, boobs out, long slits, and I'm like, what award show is she going to? Ladies and gentlemen, she was going to this child's clothing line, a baby's clothing line, a baby's event.
In all fairness, maybe she had an event afterwards.
Perhaps. But I talked about that, and then during the Twitter space, and I also talked about how they show when they're introducing them, they show their family, and then they show where they live, and then they also show what they do. So apparently she's into construction. I had no idea. I didn't know now.
Why are you laughing then? Why are you laughing?
Nobody, I'm sure.
Why she trying to construct another billionaire or what?
Anyway, she was
That's a business
so
idea.
they show her at this construction site wearing the hard hat, and she's like, "Oh, so this one is a 3-bedroom," and I was just like, "Girl, didn't you?" I was like, "Girl," I'm like, and I said it. I said, "Girl, didn't you look at the plan before getting there?" So apparently, she heard me say that, and she told some people that I was biased against her. Girl. I mean, even Chioma was surprised. Like, Chioma said she saw this person in this lime green outfit coming, and she was like, "Oh my God, where is she coming to? Is she coming here?" They were surprised. So what?
Do you know what? That gave me.
You'll be alright.
I don't want to be bad. Should I be bad?
Please do.
Should I be bad? It gave me that clip where she was wearing the construction hat. It's kind of like when you see
she was
those.
playing pretend.
When you see those pot-bellied governors when it's sports day or something, and they will put on this tight polo. Not polo, and they'll put this face cap on.
You get
And then, and you're just like, sir, you've never been on a field in your whole life. So it kind of gave me those vibes, because it didn't look like the hat wasn't sitting right? Was it just me?
It probably was her weave. I will say this though. See, everybody there, like, they introduced us to Toyin Lawani, and she told us about her business. They showed her at work, and then they introduced us to Chioma, and they show us again at her business. They show us Brass and Copper. They show us, the hair thing. So she mentioned this construction thing, but I didn't even catch the name of the company. What is the name of the company? Is it on her Instagram page? Do you understand? So I mean, make it.
golddigging.com.
Gold digging enterprises.
Yeah,
No, but
gold digging.
she said she was kind of like a gold digger. Even she.
Dynamic duo.
No, she made fun of herself and
Even
said.
she kind of said she was a, but
No, because that's the name that she was given when she married the billionaire.
the most cringe moment with her was when she said, "As you can see, I'm very beautiful," and I'm just like, oh.
You can't do an interview with her without her mentioning her beauty. I remember reading several interviews of when before even blogs became popular of city people, and she's like, I'm very beautiful. I'm very okay. That's great. And she even started singing, "I'm a Barbie girl," and I was just like,
Yeah.
So sorry, 3 wives, 1 billion.
3 wives.
Because
1 billion, yeah.
Say we want to do Real Housewives of Lagos, but none of us are married.
The one that BT does.
But it's fiction.
Yeah.
You
What was your
asking
most
me this.
cringe moment?
My most cringe moment was, I think, Laura's entire scene. The scene where she was like, okay, so we've been married for 5 years, and they show her husband, and then he comes in, and then she's like, I got one of the best chefs in Lagos, and I'm waiting to see Chef Freggs. I'm waiting to see Chef Tolu Eros, and I see this lady. I was like, who's this? And then she goes, and then I was like, okay, the best chef in Lagos, what did you make? And then I see she's like, pepper soup and then creamy pasta.
Sorry, let me correct you.
And then also there's also and then she was like, there's a the chef said, I've got creamy seafood pasteur. I was like, pasteur? Wait now. then she's like, and I prepared this candlelit dinner, glade candles, scented candles on the table.
Maybe that's all they got.
First of all, she was not even dressed for the candles.
I was like, the chef was dressed like she was gonna join them for dinner at some point.
She
so
looked like she went on a play date.
Yeah, she doesn't match. As in, she just seems out of place, I think.
But let's not kill, her hustle.
I'm not killing her hustle. I'm just saying. Like,
that might be the best creamy pasta in all of Lekki.
Then she was like, then they ring the bell and she's like, oh my God, maybe you got me something. And then they bring this box and she's really excited thinking her husband got her a gift. Lo and behold, is invites to Tiana's baby's lunch. And she's like, I really thought that you bought me something.
One thing I'm hoping is that Tiana's husband doesn't wear that mask. So if he needs to, can they
said that he's the unknown, that he's an artist.
Can they just cut his persona?
No, they can't.
They can't cut his scenes. When he was talking out, I was
his voice was muffled.
Yeah, it was just like
Someone also asked why Chioma was surprised at the uniforms in her own restaurant. That actually blew me away. I was like, yeah.
Maybe they were new uniforms.
Okay, she was not aware.
I don't know. She was like, you guys look really good. And then she was
her dog though.
And then what made me cringe during Chioma's time was when she said they did a product shoot. So basically, you know how they take pictures of food that they sell at the restaurant. And she was like, and you guys get to eat the food. As opposed to what? We're going to throw it away? I don't understand.
Baby, I need people to deep it. In that scene, one of the waitresses actually rolled her eyes. Last one, second left. You look like my G. Come on, jollof rice.
Like, madam, will you get out?
Will you shift? Yeah, but
oh my gosh. Wow.
I was like,
That was really.
But you know what? I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah, I think so far, Real Housewives of Lagos or Young, African and Famous.
They give different things.
Yeah.
They give. I think.
I think Real Housewives is going to be a bit spicier.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I think so. I want to see, and I feel that my favorite so far, and I think this is because I follow her on Instagram and I love Yabo. I love Yabo.
Is there a reason why you don't like Tiana?
I think because I don't follow Tiana, but I follow Yabo. So I feel like Yabo. I love her because of her TikToks. She's so hilarious, and I think she's kind of given us like a bit of a tamer version of her. But in the
eventually there's one
where she's like, she won't give me a gbadu, and I'm like,
she was almost climbing on the table. I was like, So I can't wait to see the quarrels, the fights, and Miriam looks like a troublemaker from the clips that we saw. I was like,
I think what's interesting about all the characters is they look like they give as good as they get. So if you bring the drama, they will bring the drama times 10 to you. So that is what reality TV is all about. So definitely looking forward to seeing episode 2 of that one.
Love it.
Alrighty. So on that note, we shall bid you farewell.
So long. Farewell.
Somebody said we were quite tame in the first episode.
What do you want? What do you want? As in,
we've abused like 4 or 5 people in this episode.
I didn't abuse anybody. I didn't abuse anybody.
Zaina did.
Well, Zaina did. I didn't abuse anybody.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
Oh my gosh. All right then. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Big shout out once again to our sponsors. And if you haven't done so, we want you to what?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
What?
Also like and share.
Yep, like and share. Make sure you subscribe. Subscribe. Just click on the button. Click it. Bye.
Hi, I'm Gbemi.
Hi, I'm Toolz. If you absolutely love that episode,
make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's just right there. You're not going to die, we promise. Just click
button.
right there.
Click.
Press the button. Thank you.
Press it.
Subscribe.
Press
Tell
it.
your family and friends
press
too.
the button.
Thank you.
Bye.
Keep safe.